The first question was on globalization and language. So language important है. Okay. We also had culture is a dynamic concept. Culture पे पूछा जा रहा है. Examine the significance of QR and influence in geography. Culture is either population or even perspective. दोनों में cultural topic है. अगर paper 1 में पूछता है, it's from the perspectives. Paper 2 में पूछेगा, it is from Indian geography, culture. But these three are related to your geographical thought. Okay, so culture पूछा, language पूछा, and they've asked QR. इसके पहले साल में this is a question on radical geography. Interrelationship between social and spatial structure are complex. Explain the context of socio-spatial dialectic. The meaning of this word dialectic is the conflicts. There is a social dimension, there is a spatial dimension, and there are radical issues of conflicts and how they are relevant for the interrelationship between the two. ये radical geography is question है. Okay. Why is radicalism the major paradigm? ये भी radical geography है. Gender issues, these two are radical geography questions. Okay. Then essay on gender equity and equality in India in the context of balanced human development. So this is population geography. This is also perspectives also, because you have a topic of human development in this. It's also part of human geography. Economic geography. Or because gender hai, it's also a radical geography topic. Okay. So radical geography, देखो, repeat हो रहा है as a theme. Okay. एक तो culture बार-बार repeat हुआ. दूसरा है gender issues, developments. So you can say the theme here is development and radical geography. Okay. Language diffuses location. So language pe question hai again. Again, culture is back. Hotspot, language hotspot, endangered languages. Okay. HDI pe question hai, human development. I believe I think I left it downstairs. Just give me a second. I'll be back. Yeah, I just got a syllabus with me. So here we go. I presume all of you have seen this, but so we have areal differentiation, regional synthesis, dichotomy, dualism, environmentalism, QR, location analysis, radical, behavioral, human, welfare, geography. यहाँ तक एक टाइप का कंटेंट है, language, religion, secularization, cultural regions, and human development index. Okay, this is another part. So you can see the questions asked are largely from the later part. Radical geography से पूछा है, language से बार-बार पूछ रहे हैं, कल्चर से पूछ रहे हैं, डेवलपमेंट से पूछ रहे हैं, और डेवलपमेंट आपके इकोनॉमिक ज्योग्राफी में भी है. टॉपिक्स ऑफ फूड सिक्योरिटी, इंडस्ट्रीज, वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट, okay, measurement and problems. Plus you also have it as a part of your population well-being, quality of life, and so on. So development as a theme they're asking repeatedly. Human development they're asking you. Okay, that's what I'm trying to point out. Okay, so back to your questions asked. So HDI is development question. HDI population bhi hai. HDI is also in your geographical thought. In globalization and culture, folk culture. तो थीम देखो आप, radical geography पूछा, culture पूछा, language पूछा, development पूछा. Okay, this is the broad repeat. Okay, so globalization, then geography as a multi-paradigm discipline. ये पूरा मिला दिया सब कुछ, everything is about geography is a lot of things. Then 2020 में they've asked areal differentiation. So 3 साल हो गए अब. Okay, 2020 के बाद में 21, sorry, 2 साल. 21-22 में नहीं पूछा. Welfare geography they have asked again 2018 में areal differentiation here. QR again. Okay. Stop and go determinism 16 में. Time geography in 17. So almost 6-7 years में the topic they're asking you again, culture is back. Cultural identities. Okay. Global connectivity. So common strong theme is culture every time. Okay, so I'm just helping you analyze कि कैसे होगा. So हम culture prepare करेंगे ढंग से. Okay. The second preparation, of course, will be on the later topics, which is radical geography. Take it towards development geography. Okay. You must talk about issues related to. Okay. अब बाकी जो है QR, areal differentiation, welfare geography, radical geography, and welfare geography. यही questions हैं. QR is repeated बार-बार. QR is here. We had one QR is here. Okay, and we have one QR last year. So 16 से अभी तक 3 बार पूछता है, QR पे पूछा है. Areal differentiation 16 में पूछा है, and then they asked in again 18. Twice asked areal differentiation. Welfare geography again. Welfare phase of geography. Region synthesis. I can clearly say, okay, this is one demarcation line. उसके पहले again cultural regions, behavioral geography, okay, environmentalism. This is one topic not asked for a long time now. Environmentalism. हालांकि environmentalism is actually extensions of radical geography itself, extension of welfare geography itself. Okay, behavioral geography, mental map, behavioral geography again radical geography, okay, again cultural realms and HDI. तो मैंने मैपिंग किया है लास्ट 10 साल के पेपर मैपिंग. I hope you got understood the patterns here. So what you can't leave is what I'm telling you. Culture छोड़ नहीं सकते आप. Culture में एक topic not asked till now is religion and secularization. Okay, this is an important. अब syllabus के साथ मैप करो. Okay, सब में यही नहीं पूछा है ना. Religion नहीं पूछा है, and they're not asked secular. And I think this is an important topic. हालांकि last almost 2 years I'm anticipating this one. बाकी सारा टच कर लिया more or less. ये नहीं टच. Okay, so this we will definitely study well. Okay, Human Development Index, they keep asking, rotating. So 4-5 topics क्या पढ़ना है, you can't leave is cultural geography, radical geography, welfare geography, development geography, areal differentiation, QR, areal differentiation and QR. Oh, it's not visible. ठीक है? And behavioral geography. They've asked very specifically mental maps पूछा है, and once they've asked this one, approach to behavioral geography. एक generic question पूछ दिया है. Discuss the approaches study of behavioral geography. 15 में पूछा है. Anything else I'm missing out? So dichotomy, dualisms पे they have only one generic question. No specific questions on dichotomy, dualism. In general पूछ दिया ना this one. Yeah. Geography is a contested multi-paradigm. का मतलब है there are dualism and dichotomies in geography. And it is Eurocentric in approach. Okay. Otherwise, we don't see any questions here. Synthesis, welfare geography, QR, areal differentiation, contemporary paradigms in geography, culture again, time geography is extension of behavioral geography. So if I put it in terms of your list here, so this is what we will do. Okay. So syllabus wise, areal differentiation, know 4 things. Know the definition, you must know the approach, you must know how this is linked to chorology and what were the demerits. Okay, definition kya areal differentiation ka? What is the approach? The approach is study of cause effect relationship. It is objective study. It is descriptive study. Okay, and chorology को भी link करना है इसके साथ में. And what are the demerits? Okay, I'll presume these are things आप अपने आप revise करेंगे. Have an idea about the book's name? 1939, 1940s में. It is Richard Hartshorne. Okay, Nature of Geography. The book's name was Nature of Geography. What people miss out is areal differentiation is positivist. It is a positivist approach. Okay, in positivism, okay, culture and human preferences are ignored. So areal differentiation, like QR, also ignores the human aspect. This is something we do not realize. Like QR, areal differentiation is also positivism, and like QR, it also ignores the human aspect. Okay. That's why areal differentiation is not same as a humanistic approach, although both are regional in studies. Areal differentiation is not same as humanistic because areal differentiation ignores the human element. Okay, both are otherwise regional approach. That's why we often say that a humanistic approach जो है, this is the new regional approach. This is the new chorological approach. It brings back culture studies, and therefore humanistic geography is concept of culture turn in geography. I'm revising some points. Okay, the humanistic approach hai, this is the new region approach. This is not areal, a differentiation type of a regional geography. Okay, it is the new regions, it is the new chorological approach. It brings back culture studies. Therefore, ये जो approach is called as a culture turn in geography. Culture वापस आ गया geography में. It is a culture turn in geography. Okay. So when you write about areal differentiation, make sure you have a paragraph on how areal differentiation is not same as the regional approach of humanistic geography. I'll ask you a question to you. We have QR. QR is positivism. It has no culture. Behavioral geography, areal differentiation is also positivism, and there is no culture. Behavioral geography is positivism. It includes human cognition, but again, ignores culture. In behavioral geography, we don't have cultural studies. Okay, indirectly here, because culture impacts cognition, culture impacts your thinking. Otherwise, behavioral geography also ignores culture. In humanistic geography, I'm saying this is anti-positivism. I'm saying this is about the culture. This is a regional. Okay, so this is now these both. QR is not a regional, and behavioral geography is also not a regional because they're making laws. Okay, QR makes laws and generalizations, and even behavioral geography says we'll make laws and we'll have generalization. Okay, areal differentiation is regional, and I'm saying yahi regional वापस यहाँ पर भी आया, but this is not same as areal differentiation. समझ में आ रहा है आपको all of you? Okay, because it has culture, I've said this is example of culture turn. I think we know of this concept called as geosophy. Geosophy is the inspiration of this school. Geosophy. Geosophy में culture आता है. My question to you was, before areal differentiation, did we have cultural studies or not? Which school of geography is cultural studies? Tell me. Before this, yeah, Carl Saur. Okay. What else? Vidal. What else? Before Vidal, who is the first one to talk about cultures very positively in geography? Yeah, Radzel. Radzel is among the first person. Of course, we also have some culture studies in the works of Humboldt. We also culture in the works of Ritter also. But actual culture जो आया है, वो Radzel से आया है. His 1880s में, 1890s में, the anthropogeography. He talks about the idea of a cultural landscape. Okay, और यहीं से फिर Vidal भी आते हैं. But look at this phase. यहाँ पर no, that's why I've been saying कि after Radzel and Vidal, वापस culture आता है यहाँ. That's why it calls it culture turn. Culture has now come back into. Okay, so cultural elements which were ignored by areal differentiation, ignored by QR, ignored by behavioral geography, was back into geography in the works of humanistic approach, and this is inspired by a lot of studies of Radzel and Vidal, and of course Carl Saur. Carl Saur 1920s में, Vidal भी 1920s में. Of course, Vidal had died by 1920s, and Radzel is the later part of the 19th century. So go back to our conversation here. So if I ask you, write a note on areal differentiation. Can you write a good analysis in terms of demerits क्या था? Take the conversations towards culture. आप question देखो ना, culture पे ज़्यादा पूछ रहा है. Okay, so I want to link areal differentiation with culture. बाकी आप कर लेंगे. Definition पता है आप. It is objective, rational, okay, accurate description of the variable nature of the Earth's surface. The definition part you can handle, no problem there. ठीक है? This one discussion I wanted on areal differentiation. अब आप question देखो. अच्छा, this one discussion culture वाला हो गया. Second is why do we say areal differentiation is a synthetic in nature? एक और question है. The one discussion I had was how areal differentiation had ignored culture, and culture was revived in the later schools. One. Number two, the discussion that areal differentiation is synthetic. हम क्यों बोलते हैं? Why is it synthetic? Yes, in terms of what? In terms of cause-effect relationship. So areal differentiation is synthetic because it studies the interrelationships of the variable nature of Earth's surface. It studies the cause-effect association of the elements in a region, because the approach which is regional focuses on a uniqueness of a region in terms of the unique association of the diverse geographical elements. Why is areal differentiation synthetic? One, it talks about the interrelationships of the variable elements on the Earth's surface. Okay, the rivers are linked to the forests are linked to the soil is linked to the climate linked to the mountains. It talks about interrelationships. That's why it is synthetic, because it talks about the cause-effect association. What causes what? Not just relationship, also cause-effect of the elements. उसके बाद इसका focus ये है to establish how a region is unique. The uniqueness is not simply in terms of elements. The uniqueness is also in terms of the unique associations. Okay, by mountains India में भी हैं, mountains US में भी है, mountains are also in Saudi Arabia. But how the mountains are interacting with the winds are not same as in US, India, and Middle East. The associations are unique. Okay, so that's why it's synthetic. Okay, so it uses synthesis to establish the uniqueness of the associations. Okay, and because it does this uniqueness thing, therefore, according to areal differentiation, geography as a synthetic discipline, cannot have any generalizations. Geography as a synthetic discipline cannot have any generalizations. Okay, so when synthesizing, okay, it takes up a region. So within a region, okay, areal differentiation tries to associate the climate elements, geomorphological elements, the biospherical elements, associate this with human activities, associate this with the human elements, but ignoring culture. You could draw maybe that diagram: climatology, okay, geomorphology, biogeography, environment geography, the human aspects को जोड़कर, okay, this becomes the areal differentiation element. Climatology, geomorphology, we have biogeography, environment geography, the human aspects. That's why it is synthetic. Okay, आप इसमें add कर सकते हो that in areal differentiation, the geographical synthesis, however, is incomplete because it ignores the elements of culture. It ignores the elements of how is areal differentiation synthetic in its approach. Whatever you make, आपने रोड बना दिया, रोड हम पढ़ लेंगे. आपने बिल्डिंग बना दिया, हम बिल्डिंग ऐड कर देंगे. Typically, what even Otto Scruter said, that geography will not enter into the process of how things are made. Okay, the process, how did I make a temple? मेरा faith था, मेरा belief था, and I made it. हम उससे concerned नहीं. हम concerned है, there's a temple. Okay, what are the reasons why I made the temple? That's culture, that's perception. आप वो ignore करो. So human elements के whatever physical forms हैं, which can be measured, quantified, objectively. रोड आई कैन मेजर, पता है, लेंथ पता है, रोड कहां पर जाती है वो पता है, अलाइनमेंट पता है, आप वो लिख लो, कोई दिक्कत. पर हम कल्चर में नहीं जाएंगे. टिपिकली द अप्रोच ऑफ ऑटो स्क्रूटर दैट वी वोंट स्टडी, ओके, द प्रोसेस ऑफ क्रिएटिंग द लैंडस्केप. ठीक है. सो वन लिमिटेशन ऑफ एरियल डिफरेंशिएशन इज synthetic है, but the synthesis is incomplete because number one, it ignores culture, and number two, it ignores time dimensions. It ignores the time aspect. Geography में time बहुत बाद में आता है. Time actually is cultural geography. Time is geosophy. Time comes into geography with humanistic geography. Time as a part of later behavioral geography. Yes, time place to concept जो था आपका. So areal differentiation का ये 3 gaps हैं. One gap is there are no generalizations, there are no theories in this. Okay, that's one. Number two, the synthesis is incomplete because it ignores culture. And number three, synthesis incomplete because it ignores time dimensions. It is areal differentiation is typically chorology, the way Kant was explaining, except minus culture. Kant के chorology में culture ignored नहीं था. Areal differentiation में, because areal differentiation is inspired by positivism. Okay, so Kant is also removing time from geography. Areal differentiation also removes time from geography. These are time independent studies. See, rest I know you guys know more or less. My objective is to add something beyond what you have read. ठीक है, अब एक और point अब add करेंगे. That areal differentiation is typically regional in approach, and its main objective was, and areal differentiation's main objective was to establish geography as regional in approach. To establish geography as regional in approach. ये पूरा कहानी बनाया ना हार्टशॉर्न ने बनाया. Why is Hartshorne tracing? The whole objective of Hartshorne's tracing geography was to establish geography regional ही है. Okay, regional was in the works of Varenius. Kant was regional, Ritter was regional, Ratzel was regional, Vidal was regional. Okay, Baki were aberrations. And region is the way forward for geography. Kant also was descriptive. Kant's geography was not analytical. Remember this. Analytical sciences are all the logical sciences. Okay. और वही approach रखते हैं even areal differentiation में. That we can only describe the associations and not make laws about it. So add one point here that that the objective of Hartshorne in his areal differentiation studies, the objective of Hartshorne in his areal differentiation was mainly to establish geography as regional in its approach. Geography as regional in its approach. In his 1939 book, Nature of Geography, he is tracing the region's approach in geography. He is tracing the region's approach in geography from the works of Varenius. Special geography, Varenius special geography, Kant's chorology. Okay. Ritter's regions approach in Richthofen, Richthofen, R-I-C-T-H-O-F-E-N. Regions approach in Richthofen, R-I-C-T-H-O-F-E-N. Richtofen's, Ratzel's anthropogeography, Vidal's possibilism, and in the works of Karl Source, cultural landscape. Thread बना रहे हैं. He's making यही common thread है. बाकी जो है aberrations है. All the major ones are covered here. Okay. So there is one passage, okay, in your textbook. Look at this passage. This is Dixit. Okay, second edition, Geographical Thought, page 119. Okay. Geography as chorology, the role of Hartshorne's Nature of Geography. ये किताब लिखा था 39. Okay. The book presented an authoritative, becomes bright, तो दिखता नहीं है आपको, no problem. So, the book presented an authoritative account of developments in modern geography and had soon become essential reading for graduate studies. From then on, heterogeneous concept of geography as chronological science became enshrined as a mainstream concept of discipline. It continued to be so until 1950s. एक ऐड कर सकते हो, हार्टशोर्न के जो immediate influence था वो था हेटनर का influence, Alfred Hettner. ये again 1880s की बात हो रही है. Hettner was chronological. Okay, and this idea of geography is regional became the norm until QR challenged it. Chronology was focused, present landscape since Kantian scheme. Chronological remained, the chronology है, it remained indifferent to historical perspective. बताया ना आपको मैंने, time नहीं है geography में. Okay, so Kant's chronology was indifferent to the historical perspective. Okay, students applying themselves, becoming, okay. Chronology was often required to go back in time. That's how it got challenged afterwards. Okay, Carl Sawyer is there. Okay, so Hartshorne presented this is page 128. Okay, Hartshorne presented a wide-ranging view on the nature of the subject, discussions on clarifications about many points, criticisms. Okay, geography as areal differentiation. The book was intended to supplement. Okay, in his new monograph, Hartshorne stuck to the essentially chronological concept of geography, as in his previous book. Geography, discipline that seeks to describe, interpret the variable kind of Earth's surface as the world of man. Underlined that although time was important in geography, the discipline's primary concern was to describe the variable nature and the interrelationships, the functional relationship between phenomena of diverse origin existing together in a particular place at a present time. So areal differentiation जो है ना वो historical नहीं है. It only talks about the present time and so on. Okay. अब ये मैंने क्यों बताया? Look at the two questions asked. One question was asked in 16. Areal differentiation forms the core theme in geography. Areal differentiation forms the core theme. यहाँ पर core theme क्या है? The regions. Areal differentiation का 3 core themes हैं. Right down this point. Areal differentiation has 3 core themes. One is the regions approach. Second is the regional synthesis. And third is descriptive approach. The regions approach. Second is the region synthesis. And third is descriptive approach. ये बताना है कि geography में, okay, what we have, lot of core themes are part of areal differentiation. And then say, you know, in later geography, things changed. Then they talked about making laws also. They talked about adding culture also. Okay, they talked about time geography also. Okay, core theme tha for a long time, but this got challenged later on. ये question है, और एक question कहाँ गया? Yeah, areal differentiation has provided the theoretical justification for studying regions and regional geography. ये बताया आपको भी मैंने आपको. Areal differentiation is the theoretical base of region concept. And then tell us how this approach is ignoring time, ignoring culture also. Because it says you can't make laws. Because it is positivism. Okay? So these two questions are not simply write a note on areal differentiation. नहीं. आपको author deep जाना पड़ेगा. All fine here? Okay, so these two questions, यही अगर पूछेगा दोबारा, I think इसी approach से ही पूछेगा. About synthesis, how it leaves time, ignores culture, how it was a core theme. Okay. In fact, एक और भी passage है, if you guys can have time to read afterwards, maybe. Okay, thank you so much. No, it's not in this other book. We'll have it. So, ठीक है. This much should be enough for real differentiation. Fine. Okay, I'm moving on then. So I've taken care of areal differentiation. Next is QR. मैं छोड़ रहा हूँ. Reason being, last year they asked a question on QR. Okay, आपके पास 2 question है ना इसमें? 1 question, sorry. This was a question asked last time. QR and its influence in the development of geography. सीधा पूछा हुआ question है. Examine significance of QR and the influence development of geography. Okay. What you can do is maybe study what is positivism. Maybe you can study. Okay, so QR as a theme I am leaving out, but you must know what is positivism. What is positivism and what are its elements. Okay. Now for this here, so positivism essentially is the study of objective reality. Positivism is scientific quantification. Positivism is verifiable and demonstrable study of phenomena and its explanation. What is positivism? It is study of the objective reality. It is study that includes a scientific quantification. It is verifiable and it is demonstrable. कि आप दिखा सकते हैं ये हुआ है. Verifiable का मतलब है there are evidences of what? Okay, study of any phenomena. Okay, study of phenomena and its explanations. You can verify it, you can demonstrate it. Okay. Now, ये positivism, इसका roots are in history studies. I think we talked about a man called as Auguste Comte. He was a French historian who started positivism, and positivism in geography कौन लेके आया था? It was Humboldt. Okay. So positivism was brought into geography by Humboldt. ठीक है? अच्छा. Now positivism is of two types. Positivism जो है is of two types. One is called as the empirical positivism. Other is called as logical positivism. Empirical positivism वो होता है which is based on actual and the physical reality of phenomena and events. Actually देखा है आपने या सुना है आपने, you have verified it. Any phenomena or any reality or any event which has been studied as a physical reality. Like you have gone, so this is based on actual a physical observation. That's why we use the word empirical. It's actual physical observation. ठीक है? Logical positivism जो है, this is not necessarily established by actual a physical observation. This is more of logical and a reasoning based study. This is more of mathematical reality and not always physical reality. It is not necessarily established by actual physical observation. हमने जाके देखा नहीं है, but I am extrapolating. I am using logical reasons. I am using reasoning. Okay, it's more of a logical and reasoning based study. It's like, nobody has seen Big Bang, right? But logically हमने deduce किया है कि शायद Big Bang हुआ होगा. Mathematically, time travel is logical positivism. Okay, black holes are logical positivism. The presence of God particle is also logical positivism. देखा किसी ने नहीं है अभी, but we are saying mathematically it's a possibility. Okay, so these are established by mathematical equations. They are not necessarily physical reality. ठीक है? So QR जो था was what? What was QR? Logical positivism or empirical positivism? QR is here because for logical positivism you need to have a mathematical equation. You need to have a pattern. जब भी आपका बनेगा logical. So QR is example of logical positivism, whereas areal differentiation is empirical positivism. This was an important discussion. What is positivism? What does that school of science tell us? Who introduced the idea? What are the two types of positivism? And our discussion again back here. Areal differentiation. The question पूछा था, somebody asked me. Sir, areal differentiation का positivism है and QR भी positivism है. And both are objective. And how are they different? And if both are positivism, why can't areal differentiation make laws? Because areal differentiation does not believe in repeatability of patterns. Okay, pattern की बात ही नहीं करे. हर जगह unique है. Every place is unique. Every association is unique. Every synthesis is unique. अगर यूनिक है, you cannot have generalizations. And if no generalizations, I can't make a law. Whereas QR says, आपको ढूंढना पड़ेगा generalize. अगर नहीं मिल रहा है, use assumptions. I've used assumption of isotropic surface, assumption of economic rational man, and I've said a pattern called as concentric agriculture land use patterns. I've used assumptions, and we have got hexagonal patterns of CPT. Okay, this school says, no, we can't do that. We'll just limit ourselves to objective study, physically verifiable study, and we need not make laws in this. Take all of you fine here? So what is logical positivism and what is empirical? Both will use numbers, both will use mathematics, both will be objective. But this one says, we go one step ahead and make a logical conclusion that looks like a pattern study. So aapki kitab, okay, this is one section you can go through. Page 138, again Dixit, okay, Dixit Geographical Thought, 138, the nature of positivism explanation. August Comte, French School, 1798, and this ultimately was Humboldt. Comte's lecture published this one, and Comte philosophy, okay. Okay, so Humboldt was among those who attended and inspired. And these are the 5 points of empirical positivism. Knowledge from direct experience, knowledge that has unity of scientific methods. The method applied for geography can't be different from methods of other logical sciences or other sciences. So all the methods are same, all can measure. Okay. It's also about conclusions that can be tested and verified. Okay. And whatever you study, they must be of some purpose. There must be a utility of what you're studying. And the final point is that because it is science, positivism, it cannot be the final version. Positivism says if for some reason our understanding changes, the facts also change eventually. So science mein, there's a thing like an end product. Okay. Scientific knowledge is unfinished. It is relative because knowledge keeps progressing by gradual unification of theories and so on. Greater awareness demands more comprehensive theory. So these are the 5 elements of empirical positive or any positivism. Is based on experience. There is a unity of methods. जो भी आप method बाकी science में use करते हैं, the same methods are also applicable for geographical studies. Methods, the conclusions have to be verifiable. You can test the conclusions. The study must have some utility. It must be useful, not any random studies. And it is incomplete. It is unfinished agenda, which means be open to accept new facts, new challenges. Because अगर आपने कह दिया ये final है, it then becomes dogmatic. Dogmatic का मतलब होता है you can't challenge anything anymore. Science cannot be dogmatic. Science must be malleable. Science must be capable of modifying itself as and when our understanding changes. Yes, 5, but एक difference है. Logical positivism में पहला point नहीं आएगा. In logical positivism, you not have this one. Okay, ये वाला discussion है. Then there is logical positivism in human geography. Okay, this was a later discussion. Logical positivism, working principle only in 50s. Carl Sauer's ideas, positive science, and so on. Human geography, not human geography as in the humanistic approach की बात नहीं हो रही है. Human geography was the last of the social sciences to adopt positive approach wide scale. Okay. So this, अच्छा ये भी important है. Yeah. That positivism is value freedom, which means scientific judgments are objective and independent of moral or political. It's a value-free inquiry. You cannot have any perception. You cannot talk about your political interpretations, morality, culture, tradition. वो सब नहीं आएगा. It is value-free. Okay. Value-free. Therefore, it focuses on causation. Okay. It is focused on disinterested observation, as in you can't be attached emotionally to any studies. Okay. Functionalism, it must serve some function, and it can be used, okay, to change things in society, to mold society. Okay. It can be used for human development, human welfare. We call this as social engineering. जब जो भी use पढ़ेंगे आप, use it for some benefit. So these two जो है, they're part of this point. That whatever study you have, it must be utilizable. It must serve as a means to an end. It must be a tool for social engineering. It must be of some useful purpose. ठीक है? So what is positivism? What are its doctrines? What are the two types? And some of these words. Okay. So this is QR wala discussion. Okay. Now I'm asking a question to all of you. Write a question, please. Write down. Acha, by the way, I hope you next topic I should have discussed with you guys is a concept of regional synthesis. ये एक possible question है. Let me show you the page. This is Human Geography by Majid Hussain. Okay. अरे बंद हो गया. Here. Page 26. Yeah, value free is positivism and also areal differentiation. Both. Sir, it applies to both. Okay. Page 26 में, what is regional synthesis? This is one question they were asking 2 or 3 times पूछा हुआ है. Okay. So back to your notes once. A regional synthesis. Basically, an approach that seeks to study any phenomena or any element of Earth in terms of associations and interconnectedness achieved at the scale of small regions. It is what I repeat, it is an approach that seeks to study any phenomena, any element on the Earth in terms of associations and interconnectedness achieved on the scale of small regions. Okay, देखो, Earth is unified. Earth is a whole. Earth is totality of everything. Okay, ये जो idea है, ये किसका idea है? Whose idea is this? Earth is one complete whole. Earth में सब कुछ unified है. Earth में सब कुछ are linked to one another. किसका idea है? Yeah, this is Humboldt and Ritter. The concept of organic unity. Okay, ये Humboldt and Ritter का idea है. Okay, so this is the concept of organic unity. This is the concept of Zusum men hanging together. Okay, इस unity में earth and man. Okay, in this unity it is living and non-living and unity of all locations. सब कुछ मिला हुआ है. ये तो established है. Then what does regional synthesis do? It says, okay, Earth unified hai, that's okay. But this unification is better at the scale of regions, not at the scale of the world. World तो बहुत बड़ा scale हो गया. The biosphere, the atmosphere, the lithosphere, all linked to one another. ठीक है, that's fine, you're right. But this view is the geography is actually the science of regional synthesis. Okay, because it is at the regions level that we can appreciate the synthesis even better, because at the regional scale the focus is study of interrelationships. It is the interrelationships that give identity to a region. एक region बनता कैसे है? What makes India as a region different from China as a region? What makes UP as a region different from Tamil Nadu as a region? Because at a smaller scale, the interrelationships are unique. The elements are unique. That's why the regions are themselves unique. Is it okay, all of you here? Okay. So when I'm saying synthesis, under regional synthesis, under regional a synthesis, what all am I combining? I'm combining the living with the non-living. I'm combining the natural environment with man. Okay. We're combining, okay, natural with the cultural. We're combining the physical and the human. यही element जो है. This is essentially combining physical and the human. And later synthesis में, later on, under humanistic geography, we're combining a space with time. ये भी synthesis है. That's why the humanistic approach is the new synthesis. It is the culture turn. In a synthesis हो गया. ठीक है, all of you? So I'm reading this point down. Page 26, Human Geography by Majid Hussain. So regional synthesis is different type of regions, is the core area of geography and the main concern of geographers. ये बहुत बार पूछा हुआ question है. Okay? The synthesis is the investigation human geography, physical and cultural. Okay. The fundamental approach of geography. ये पूछा हुआ statement है. The crux of human geography is synthesis. ये Feynman का diagram जो है, okay, in the previous page, later, sorry, yeah, okay. This one. This is Feynman's diagram. Geography is geology, meteorology, biology, economics, history, and sociology. Please draw this right now. 6 subjects. Synthesis is this combination. Geography is geology. Geography में आ जाएगा geomorphology. Meteorology, geography में आ गया climatology. Biology, geography में आ गया biogeography. Economics, economic geography. History, historical geography. Sociology is social. Don't make any random diagrams. आप लिखेंगे Feynman 1919 and draw this. There is geology, there is meteorology, there is biology, there is economics, there is history and sociology. Page 11 in Majid Hussain. Okay. So synthesis was adopted Feynman, showing the circumference of geography. Okay. Geography synthesis में space भी है, time भी है, atmosphere, lithosphere and so on. Okay. Geography is the science of synthesis, synthesis of physical and cultural. Okay. Unique features. Synthesis is the main investigation of geography. So in combination, what all have we combined? We combined physical and human. In human, we also had culture. We combined space and time. We also combine, okay, the elements of your sciences, the 6 subjects. ठीक है? Now, I'm asking a question. पहले आप question देखो क्या पूछा हुआ question था एक. This was one question. 2015 में. Regional synthesis is the crux of geographical studies. ये हुआ ना statement of Ackerman. Remember? दिखाया भी आपको मैंने. Ackerman says this. Okay? He asserted that the fundamental approach in geography is regional synthesis. Okay? It is a core area of geography and the main concern of geography. ऐसे ही उठा रहा है questions. Okay? That synthesis is the main area of investigation of geographers. And I've mentioned a page 217 in Dikshit. Let me see what was in that. Yes. Okay, this was comparison with regional geography. You can ignore this for now. So this was one question on regional synthesis. अच्छा. एक और question था. ये वाला question. Okay. A regional synthesis. Synthesis is the crux of geography. ये वाला है question. Crux of geographical studies. The crux of geographical studies. First, what is a regional synthesis? बता दिया definition आपको. I am explaining the structure कैसे होगा answer का. Synthesis. Number 2, what is the scope of a regional synthesis? Okay. The scope is Feynman's diagram, physical and human, a human may culture, space and time. All of this are together. Okay. Then, why a regional synthesis is the crux of geography? Okay. Number 1, that geography as study of Earth as home of man is only possible if only if we study all elements of earth together with their interconnections. ठीक है? कि why synthesis जो है ये geography का crux क्यों है? It is निचोड़ क्यों है? Why? One is I'm saying geography as the study of earth as home of man. ये कब possible है? When geography studies all aspects of earth in totality, all aspects of earth in terms of interconnections. ठीक है? Then the interconnections can be studied at a global scale, can be studied at a regional scale. ये global scale में Humboldt ने किया था, but it is the regional scale synthesis that actually makes life possible for man and his activities. It is the regional scale synthesis that actually makes life possible for man and his activities. So मेरा life जो है थोड़ी Andes पे dependent है. My life depends on the local Himalayas, the local Aravallis, local Eastern Ghats. Okay, my agriculture depends on local soil, depends on local winds, depends on local biodiversity. So while Earth is unified, that's okay, but okay, actual unification, which is of value to man, is only possible at the regional scale. तो अगर geography का definition ये है, therefore a regional synthesis is at the focus of geography. That's one point done. The next point. The regional theme and its synthesis. The regional theme and its synthesis has been the focus of geography across different scholar studies, across different scholars and their studies. So Varenius के special geography में synthesis है, Kant के chorology में synthesis है. Okay. We have synthesis in the works of Ratzel, the idea of cultural landscape. Vidal is also synthesis, cultural landscape. Carl Saur is also synthesis, cultural landscape. Okay? So right from, okay, you can say 14th, 15th century से लेकर right up to the early 20th century. Okay. Regional synthesis is part of all the important scholars. उसके बाद, next. Except for quantitative revolution, okay, the synthesis was back as focus under humanistic geography. Synthesis was back in focus under humanistic geography. Culture turn, geosophy, explain that. Then say, in the new regional synthesis, geography includes the time dimension and also culture element. Time dimension and also cultural element through its concept of geosophy. ठीक है? एक phase छोड़ देते हैं 10, 12, 15 साल का QR छोड़ दो. And you can see that regional synthesis is right across the entire geographical study, starting from Varenius. Next, regional synthesis is also in applied geography studies. Is also in the applied geography studies. कोई भी geography study which includes planning, development, disaster management, agriculture planning, water management, all this will include synthesis at a regional scale. The best example is watershed management. The best example of regional synthesis for human development is watershed management, urban planning. सब आप जोड़ते हैं ना? Slopes, landforms, people, infrastructure, सब जोड़ के आप बात करते हैं. Yes, entire welfare approach, environmentalism, all this is around synthesis. All done here? In fact, this was the question I would have asked you. Write the question down now. The question अब हो जाएगा. See, you have to break free from, होता क्या है ना, that most of us, because हमारा revision complete नहीं है, या फिर हमने याद पूरा किया नहीं है, आप link नहीं कर पाते. All the questions have to be seen from the bird's eye. They're not asking you what is real synthesis. वो पूछ रहे हैं, बताओ ये कैसे core theme रहा है. वो end कर देना. Yes, this is what Ackerman said. बता दिया, 2 sentence आपको बता दिया, पढ़ा दिया मैंने. The seed from a bird's eye view, entire geographical thought. Okay, entire syllabus एक साथ देखना होगा आपको. The question I'm asking you is, लिखो question लिखो आप. The question is, in the context of regional synthesis, analyze physical, cultural, and economic factors. Analyze physical, cultural and economic factors that shape a regional development. बताओ आप किसको कैसे लिखेंगे आप? You all get the question, all of you? In the context of regional synthesis, analyze the physical, cultural, and economic factors that shape a regional development. Basically, it's asking you, tell us, how is regional development possible? Only if you combine these three elements. You must combine, physical, you must combine cultural, and combine economic factors. Think through this and jot down what you think can be the structure of the answer. The question is less about geographical thought, it's more about planning and development. Regional development karna hai, agar planning karna hai, you have to go by the synthetic approach. Prashank, point 1 and point 3. How is areal differentiation helping in physical, cultural factors? Our culture important part synthesis. Sarvat nahi hai. Seedha batao how regional development means regional synthesis. So I like Mohit's approach. For regional development, what do we need? Any development is resources, infrastructure, governance, environment issues. It includes trade, connectivity. It includes linking diverse locations. So वैसे शुरू करो. Local needs. So I will start the answer because the question is regional development. मैं वहीं शुरू करूंगा. So rather than starting from what is regional synthesis, I'll start with what is regional development. Okay? Explain that development is some goals, development, and remember the 7 principles we talked about development. The unity principle, horizontal unity, vertical unity, community participation, economic, environmental, visibility. I hope you know those terms of regional development. Okay, I'll see. Tumha shuru karo. That's what. Then write down, maybe in one paragraph, how a lot of problems are because they lack synthesis. In particular, ignoring environmental issues. You have construction, you're ignoring slopes. You have got, say infrastructure, you're ignoring the local climatic aspects. You have urban development, ignoring waste management. So one paragraph. How many problems are because they lack synthetic approach. Environmental mein bhi ho raha hai. You focus on species, ignoring habitat. You are talking about agriculture, ignoring biodiversity. So problem wahi shuru hota hai. So what is development? What does development need? And how ignoring the holistic aspects can compromise development. You can put a case study. Himalayan ka hi baat kar lo aap. Himalayan development without acknowledging slopes, without acknowledging the vulnerability to earthquakes, or ignoring biodiversity can play havoc. Take up any example, Uttarakhand floods, you talk about Kashmir floods, or talk about the recent floods, whatever you want. Then say the examples of combining elements of regions. Watershed development as an example. Urban development. So heading hi dena. Regional synthesis in urban development, regional synthesis in agriculture development, regional synthesis in environmental management, okay? Regional synthesis in rural development. Isko thematic bana do na. You guys are getting trapped in, sir has taught thought, sab thought bhi likhenge hum. Aap apply nahi kar pa rahe ho, problem ye hai. Okay? Or end karo answer. That regional synthesis is not a geographical concept in philosophy. It has an applied dimension. Is it okay, all of you now? Ab dalo, any one of them, put a case study. The best case study is watershed development case study. Slopes, forest, economy, people, tribes, sab aapne jod liya hai. You can add a case study as, because we ignore regional synthesis in urban planning, therefore urban floods. Urban floods to bahut news mein hai na. Dalo usko khod ke kisi point mein. Yamuna constantly above the danger mark. Hathni Kund, barrage. High rainfall in upstream Himachal. Hindon River flooding and whatever happens. So urban development is not possible in isolation. Imagine Delhi NCR planning requires planning as far as upstream Himachal Pradesh planning. It requires as far as planning Uttarakhand also. Okay, all of you? So don't see the question only as geographical thought question. I'm saying in the context of synthesis. उसको ध्यान में रखो. और अब बताओ how physical, culture, economic. So our answer is that generally when we do development planning, we focus on the economics alone. We focus on what? Trade, okay, roads, connectivity. We focus on manufacturing industries. We are focusing on retail units and malls. We ignore cultural aspects that increases inequality. And we ignore physical environment aspects that results in environmental problems. So आपका ये discussion point होगा that regional planning historically has focused more on economic planning. It's more about the planning of physical infrastructure. It's planning of the physical economics of a region. Production, transportation, consumption, हम उस पे बात करते हैं. We ignore human aspects, skilling, inequalities, slum developments, हम छोड़ देते हैं. And we ignore environment aspects, problems on water, problems on land, climate change, problems related to resource exhaustion, waste management, हम छोड़ देते हैं. I hope you've got the ingredients now with all of you. So what is regional development? What are the principles of regional development? And how traditionally we have ignored a holistic planning development, because of which we have some examples of problems. Therefore, a good, robust planning must include synthesis and then give me thematic synthesis with one case study. Either a watershed development based case study डाल सकते हो आप, or NCR planning based case study. It's your choice. ठीक है? Without the integration approach in regional planning, we will have environmental problems, we will have conflicts, we'll have inequalities. Is it okay, all of you now? Yes, I think I like your structure, Vidhu. Vidhu's structure is how development needs synthesis, what are the factors of synthesis, physical, cultural, economic resources, why all needed to be considered together to address problems like urban flooding, congestion, pollution dome, etc., and one case study. Yes, I think Vidhu, you have got it. Okay? Okay. The next question. Yes. Inequalities, tribal issues, okay, migration issues, जहां पर conflicts होगा. Okay. Do we know of this fact? Wherever we have conflicts, पहला impact होता है forest पे होता है. You cut down forest because insurgency issues, terrorism issues, armed rebellion. जहां conflicts होगा, वहां पे environment थोड़ी focus होने वाला है आपका. Imagine the devastation we have in Ukraine. You think you're talking about environment there. So if you ignore cultural aspects, there can be conflicts, inequalities, and that can lead to problems of environment. Okay? Okay. एक और question लिखो आप. एक और question लिखें आप. Discuss how areal differentiation remains relevant to geography. Although in a modified approach, in the changing context of geography as a synthetic discipline. Yeah. I'm asking you, discuss how areal differentiation remains relevant to us. अभी भी relevant है हमारे लिए. Although modify किया गया है. Why modified? You bring in humanistic. You bring in culture, वैसे modify हुआ है. And in the changing context of the synthetic approach in geography. So now you must tell me, what are the core concepts of areal differentiation that remains relevant? Okay. The core concepts are: geography is synthetic. Geography must study cause-effect relationship. Geography must study cause-effect relationship. Geography must be regional and geography must be descriptive, because geography studies uniqueness of a place and its phenomena. ये है core ideas of areal differentiation. Okay, कि geography जो है synthetic है. आपको सब कुछ लेके चलना पड़ेगा. You have to combine everything together. It's synthetic in nature. Geography is about cause-effect relationship. There are associations. Cause-effect relationship. Geography regional में ही पढ़ा जाएगा. At the global scale, you can't appreciate the diversity. Global scale में आपका बहुत generalizations होता है. Earth has tremendous diversity. You can appreciate only at a regional level, and you can describe it. And every place is unique. So whether geography is humanistic, geography is cultural, geography is about postmodernism, geography studies development, इस सब में लागू हो जाता है ना? So if you look at, this is areal differentiation. What were the later approaches where these concepts are still relevant? वो कहाँ पर relevant है? It's relevant in humanistic. इसमें कल्चर आपने ऐड कर दिया. They are relevant in development planning. They are relevant in environmentalism. They are relevant in cultural studies. ठीक है? So areal differentiation, although it got discredited, but if you look at the later geographies, humanistic geography, development geography, environmentalism geography, gender geography, all of the geographies, cultural geography, इस सब में यही approach use किया जाता है. ठीक है? Geography is still synthesis. इसका structure कैसे होगा पहले बताओ. All done here? Now look at the structure of the answer. The structure is, start with what is areal differentiation and what were its limitations. Limitations is positivism ignores culture. Limitation is it is indifferent to time. ये दो main limitations हैं. ठीक है? Because of which areal differentiation got challenged by quantitative revolution. Okay. Second, however, the following are the core themes of areal differentiation that still remain relevant. ये आप listing कर देंगे. And explain in brief. 3-4 lines on this, 3-4 lines on this, some lines on this. So what is areal differentiation? बता दो पहले. And then say it has limitations, so it was discarded. And areal differentiation was challenged by the QR. Okay. And then say, even if areal differentiation got challenged, 40s or 50s में, there are some core themes of areal differentiation that still remain relevant. एक box बना देना, list those points down, and briefly 2-3 lines में बताना what is synthesis idea. Draw the Feynman diagram. Okay. What is cause-effect relationship? How things are related to one another in terms of some cause-effect. How regional is unique study. Every relationships are unique. समझा देना इसको आप. Okay. Then you will say that the above core themes are the focus themes in the following later developments. Okay. Write about humanistic approach. Couple of lines. ये कैसे ये भी regional है, ये भी descriptive approach है. This also talks about uniqueness, but it adds culture and geography. Otherwise, it's very much like areal differentiation. This is the new regions approach. This is the new chorology. हो जाएगा आपका ये वाला. Then talk about how it is relevant in environmentalism. Look, every environment problem is unique. Environmentalism is synthetic. Land, forest. Environmentalism जो ecosystems approach है, it is synthetic in nature. Every environment is unique. Okay. Local area programs हैं. Explain that. The environmentalism में भी geography आ गया, which is synthetic areal differentiation type. Third, the principles of areal differentiation in local regional planning. Local regional planning. Take up an example. Take up urban planning itself and tell us how the elements of synthesis, elements of your objective studies, the elements of unique problems apply to urban planning also. Urban planning ho, agricultural planning, whatever you want to add. Conclude karna that the more modern approach, so not modern, say the contemporary approach of geography is postmodernism. Postmodernism में 4 elements हैं. There are no laws. Postmodernism is descriptive. Postmodernism, there are no laws. Postmodernism is descriptive. Postmodernism is synthetic. It includes cultural aspects. And postmodernism is development oriented. All of this has an overlap with areal differentiation. Postmodernism का सबसे important criteria ये है कि culture आप ignore नहीं कर सकते. Culture, religions, language you can't ignore. All fine. So even if areal differentiation as a concept has been overhauled and new ideas have replaced areal differentiation, but the core themes of areal differentiation are still relevant in contemporary geography. Okay, next, QR में you study, okay, just one page पढ़ के जाना, अगर आए तो अच्छी बात है, but I don't think they'll ask QR question this year. But फिर भी read this passage and go. Okay, just give me a few more minutes. I want to finish off. I'm running behind schedule. Yeah, here. This passage, you just have to read through this once. This is your assignment, okay? I will not teach this to you. Page 135 in your Dikshit, the QR in geography, the search for scientific method. Okay, there are about 3 pages to this. It's like a running commentary. What did QR do? QR is spatial analysis. QR is mathematical and statistical procedures. QR includes some of these mathematical terms, study of covariant relations, statistical methods, correlation, regression, variance, covariance. Okay. High level generalization. Okay. It is accurate, judicious use of quantitative methods. आपको ये keywords उठाना है, nothing else. Okay. It was nomothetic. Quantification was radical transformation of a split and purpose. This can be a question. Discuss how QR was a radical transformation of spirit and purpose in geography that geography underwent in the mid-50s to early 60s. Page 136 mein hai. Okay, why is transformation? Okay, and some of the commentary here. और ये वाला last passage जो है, summing up page number 142. Okay, summing up the gains and losses from the QR and the spatial science episode in human geography. It's a very nice commentary. Okay, so most geographers regard the 50s as the end, as representing a pivot era in the history of geographical ideas, because quantification brought about a more precise methodology for geographical work, helped transform geography from predominantly ideographic discipline to one which need to look for general particular was generally accepted by those. Okay, QR was pivotal moment for human geography, shaping it theoretically, methodologically, and sociologically for many years after. ये important statement ही बन गया for an question. Discuss how QR was a pivotal moment for human geography in terms of its method, in terms of its theory, in terms of what it obtained sociologically. Okay, a major drawback of spatial science episode, okay, which contributed to man out of consideration, okay, and that became the new style of human geography until adoption of postulates, and it had to wait until arrival of human geography in 70s. So just read this passage once and on your own make some jottings. How to an answer अगर ये वाला statement पूछ दिया आपको अगर, how it was, okay, the pivotal moment for human geography. Okay, so QR done and areal differentiation done. I'll take up some topics of culture. पहले बता देते हैं, आप उसको पढ़ के आना. Next class कब है आपका? Monday. Next class is Monday, right? So I want to finish off culture and I'll take up something of radical geography also. Okay, so culture के लिए आपको काम करना ये करना है कि read in Human Geography by Majid Hussain. Okay, chapter number 5, I think page 220 or 221 होगा, okay, or 223 है. Read the first, okay, page, first page, second page, third page. Okay, ये बहुत important passage है. Language का importance क्या है? Importance of language, idea transmission, communication, socialization force, symbolic landscape, Okay, is the basis of delimiting regions. Okay, it is element of most important human achievement, learned behavior. This is one important passage. This is a nice paragraph on how culture has evolved. Okay, these two passages you'll read properly. A history of culture in geography है. Carlsor, Vidal, Radzel, Huntington, Hubbardson. Okay, so cultural studies किसने किया है? This one. Then know about the language. Okay, ये जो spatial distribution of language है. Page number I think 225 or 226 होगा. Linguistic groups and how does language spread? Diffusion and patterns of language. I think page 230 or 31 होगा आपकी किताब में, नया किताब अगर है. How it spreads, diffusion patterns of languages. Okay, do this, then I will give you some questions on this. This schematic, अगर आप मेरे क्लास में रहे हो, तो I have discussed this schematic. What are the Indo-European languages? Iranian, Germanic, Italic, Hellenic. Okay, I have an idea about this, if you can. This is a graph of how language has spread. Okay, so cultural language के लिए ये पढ़ना आप लोग. Then I will want page 238 मेरी किताब में है. It could be page 241. There is a section on religion. What is religion? Okay, what it includes, how religion knows neither frontiers nor barriers. Religion is okay, anti-Marxism. There is one map on how religion spreads. What were the core area of religions? Okay, so this is South Asia is one core area of religion. ये core area of religion है ये वाला, which is your Middle East. Okay, and from here the spread has happened. So know this diagram. Because question on religion कुछ भी नहीं पूछा आज तक. Nothing has been asked. Okay. Then page number 242 में है in my book. Okay, maybe 245. What are the types of religions? There are universalizing religions, there are ethnic religions, and there are tribal religions. Okay. Religions and what are the features? How religion is related to geography. Okay. This you study not the details. You just read till you can ignore Christianity onwards. So there are 3-4 pages for languages and 3-4 pages on religion. Rest whatever you have done cultural region of the world, the board scheme kiya hua aapne. I think your notes must have what are the cultural regions of India. Okay, the linguistic regions hain. You must know what the concept of secularization. Agar nahi hai, I can only suggest read up the notes जो आपके booklets में है. Come with this much, I'll give you questions to discuss. I will discuss 4-5 questions next class. Today I could discuss 3 questions plus okay some concepts. ठीक है? Okay.